Be me, 35, relationship coach and boundaries expert. Built entire platform around women setting boundaries. Boundaries are self-care. No is a complete sentence. Never compromise your standards. Published book called Hold Your Line, Why Women Must Set Firm Boundaries in Dating and Relationships. Book became bestseller. Used in therapy practices. Referenced in articles. Women loved my approach. Had coaching practice. Teaching women to set limits. To enforce boundaries. To never settle. To demand what they deserve. This was my expertise. My passion. My professional identity. Gave workshops on boundary setting. How to say no without guilt. How to enforce consequences. How to never compromise. Your standards. Your needs. Your requirements. Met someone at 33. His name was Marcus. Software engineer, 35. Kind, thoughtful, stable. Very interested in me. Asked me out. 3 times first week. Texted every day. Wanted to see me constantly. Made plans. Suggested activities. Showed clear interest. At first this was flattering. His attention felt good. His interest felt validating. But after few weeks, started feeling crowded. Like he was too eager. Too available. Too interested. Needed to set boundaries. This was my specialty. After all, told him clearly, I need space. I can only see you once a week maximum. No texting every day, maybe every few days. I need my independence. He listened carefully. Okay, I understand. Once a week. Minimal texting. I can do that. First week went well. Saw him Saturday. Nice dinner. Good conversation. He texted once. Midweek. Just, hope you're having good week. I responded briefly. Then nothing else. Second week. Waited for him to suggest plans. He didn't. By Friday I reached out. Want to get together? Sure, when works. This felt different. Before he'd suggest. Make plans. Be enthusiastic. Now just agreeable. But passive. We met Saturday. Dinner was fine. But something was off. He was pleasant. But not as engaged. Not as enthusiastic. Not asking as many questions. Third week. He didn't text at all. Not once. Waited for him. To reach out. To suggest plans. Nothing. By Thursday I texted. Hey, how's your week? He responded hours later. Good, busy with work. That was it. No follow-up questions. No suggestion to meet. Nothing. Waited until Friday. Texted again. Want to do something this weekend? Can't this weekend. Have plans with friends. Oh, okay. Maybe next weekend? Maybe, I'll let you know. He didn't let me know. Week 4. Heard nothing from him. At all. Started feeling confused. Where was the interest? Where was the pursuit? Where was the effort? Called my friend Sarah. Explained situation. I set boundaries. He's respecting them. But now he seems barely interested. Sarah laughed. What did you expect? What do you mean? You told him. Once a week maximum. Minimal texting. Lots of space. He's giving you exactly that. But I thought he'd still show interest. Still pursue. Still make effort. Why would he? You told him to back off. He backed off. That's not what I meant. But that's what you said. Started seeing this pattern. With my clients too. Woman after woman. Setting boundaries. Then upset when men respected those boundaries. Client named Jessica. Came to session frustrated. I told him. I need lots of space. I'm very independent. Don't like clingy men. What happened? He gave me space. Tons of it. Now I barely hear from him. Feel like he's not interested. But you asked for space. I know, but I didn't mean complete distance. What did you mean? I don't know. I wanted him to still pursue me, but respect my space. Somehow. Another client, Michelle. Similar situation. I set clear boundaries. Only see him twice a week. He needs to have his own life. Not be too available. And now he has his own life. Does things without me. Doesn't always make time. When I want to see him. But isn't that what you wanted? Yes, but no. I wanted him to want to see me more. But accept my limits. Now he just seems fine with the limits. Doesn't push for more. Started seeing contradiction. Women wanted men to respect boundaries, but also ignore them. Wanted men to accept their limits, but also push past them. Wanted men to give them space, but also pursue constantly. This made no sense. but was everywhere. In my practice, in my DMs, in my comments. Women setting boundaries. Then upset when men respected them. Made post about this. Why is he respecting my boundaries? Explain the pattern. Women setting limits. Men respecting them. Women feeling less pursued, less desired, less important. Post went viral. But not how I expected. Women were angry. You're telling us not to set boundaries? To let men walk over us? No, I'm saying boundaries have consequences. If you say once a week, he'll see you once a week, not pursue you more. But he should want to see me more. Maybe he does. But you said no. So he's respecting that. That's not romantic. What's not romantic? Him just accepting my boundaries without fighting for me. This comment stopped me. Women wanted men to fight for them while also respecting boundaries. These were contradictory. Started researching this. Found term for it. Resistant boundaries. Boundaries set up to be challenged, to test if person really wants you, will fight for you, will pursue despite obstacles. This was game playing, not real boundary setting. Real boundaries are statements of needs that you want respected. Resistant boundaries are tests of interest that you want challenged. The difference is intention. Do you actually want the boundary respected, or do you want to see if he'll push past it? Realized I'd been setting resistant boundaries with Marcus. Didn't actually want once a week. Wanted him to want more, but accept less. Wanted him to pursue constantly while I maintained control and distance. Called Marcus after month of minimal contact. Can we talk? Sure, what's up? I miss seeing you. Okay, can we see each other more than once a week? I thought you wanted once a week maximum. I did, but I've changed my mind. Have you though? What do you mean? Because in month, you'll probably need space again. Tell me I'm too available, too interested. I'm tired of adjusting to your constantly changing requirements. This stung, but was fair. I had been moving the goalposts. First I wanted lots of contact, then said too much, set strict limits. Now wanted more again. From his perspective, I was inconsistent, unpredictable, high maintenance. We ended things shortly after. He was polite about it. I like you, but I don't know what you want, and I don't think you know either. You set boundaries, then get upset when I respect them. I can't win. He was right. I didn't know what I wanted. Wanted space, but also pursuit. Wanted boundaries, but also exceptions. Wanted control, but also romance. These were contradictory. Started examining my own advice, my platform, my content, all about boundaries. But what kind? Real boundaries, or resistant ones? Looked at my book, found troubling passages. Set limits and see if he respects them or fights for you. This was teaching resistant boundaries. Teaching women to test men, not communicate honestly. A man who really wants you will pursue despite obstacles. This was teaching women to create obstacles, to test interest, not build connection. Don't be too available. Make him work for it. This was teaching game playing, not authenticity. Realized my entire platform was built on contradiction. Teaching women to set boundaries, then judge men for respecting them. This was wrong. This was manipulative. This was game playing, disguised as self-care. Made post about realization. I was wrong about boundaries. Detailed my experience with Marcus, how I set limits. He respected them. I got upset. How this was pattern with many clients. How this was actually resistant boundaries, not real ones. Response was brutal. Lost thousands of followers. You're backtracking, telling women to settle, to accept whatever men are willing to give. Not what I was saying. Was saying, be honest about what you want. Don't set limits. You don't mean, don't test people with boundaries, but communicate clearly. Some followers got it. Thank you for this. I've been doing exactly this, setting boundaries. Then mad when he respects them. I need to be more honest. Men commented too. This is exhausting. Woman says she needs space. I give her space. Then she's mad. I'm too distant. Can't win. Another man. My girlfriend set Clear boundaries. Once-a-week dates. Minimal texting. I respected them. She broke up with me for not showing enough interest, but I was respecting what she said she wanted. These comments showed how common this was. Women setting boundaries as tests, men respecting them as communication. Then confusion, resentment, failed relationships. Started consulting with relationship therapists about this phenomenon. Dr. Sarah Martinez, couples therapist, explained the psychology. Women are taught to be mysterious, to be a challenge, to make men work. She continued, so they set boundaries, not because they want them, but to create obstacles, to test if man will overcome them. But that's manipulation. Exactly. It's game playing, dressed up as self-care and boundaries. What's the alternative? Honest communication. If you want to, see him twice a week. Say that. Don't say once a week. Then get mad when he doesn't push for more. She continued, real boundaries are about protecting yourself from actual harm, not testing someone's interest. Examples of real boundaries. I need you to not call me at work. I need separate time with my friends. I need you to not criticize my family. Examples of resistant boundaries. I can only see you once a week, but want you to beg for more. I need lots of space, but want you to pursue anyway. I don't like clingy, but want you obsessed with me. The difference is, real boundaries protect, resistant boundaries test. Started teaching this distinction in my practice, in my content, in my workshops. Client named Amanda was doing exactly this. I told him I'm very independent, don't need constant contact. What happened? He backed off. Now I feel like he doesn't care. Did you actually want him to back off? She thought about it. No, I wanted him to still try, still pursue, still show he really wants me. So you tested him, I guess. But isn't that what women should do? No, that's game playing. If you want more contact, say that. Don't say you want less. Then judge him for believing you. But then I seem too available, too easy. And there it was. The real issue. Fear of seeming too interested, too available, too eager. So women set boundaries. They don't mean to seem mysterious, to seem valuable, to test men's interest. This was exhausting for everyone involved. Published article. Stop setting boundaries you don't actually want. Detailed the pattern, the psychology, the consequences, better alternatives. Article went viral, but response was divided. Traditional dating coaches hated it. You're telling women to be too available, to seem desperate. Men chase what they can't easily have. Modern therapists loved it. Finally, someone addresses the difference between real boundaries and manipulation. Started getting messages from men who'd been through this. My ex did this, set all these rules about when we could talk, when we could meet. I followed them. She said I wasn't trying hard enough. Was so confusing. Another message. Current girlfriend says she needs space every few weeks. I give it to her. Then she's upset. I'm not checking in. I don't understand what she wants. Started offering clarity coaching, helping people, especially women, figure out what they actually want, then communicate it. Honestly, one client breakthrough. Woman named Rebecca. I keep telling men, I need independence, need lots of space. But I don't. I actually want frequent contact, consistent dates, regular communication. So why say otherwise? Because I'm afraid of seeming needy, of being too much, of scaring them away. But by saying you need space, you're pushing them away anyway. I guess I am. She started crying. I'm so tired of playing games, of testing people, of not being honest. This was breakthrough. Started practicing with her. Honest communication about actual needs, actual wants, actual boundaries. Month later, she met someone, was honest from start. I like frequent communication. I like seeing someone a few times a week. If that's too much for you, that's okay. But that's what I like. Guy appreciated honesty. I'm the same way. Most women I date say they need space, then get mad when I give it. Your honesty is refreshing. They started dating. No games. No tests. No resistant boundaries. Just honest communication. 6 months later, they were serious. Rebecca sent me message. This is so different from past relationships. No drama. No confusion. Just honest communication about what we want. Started seeing this with other clients too. Women who stopped setting boundaries. They didn't mean. Who communicated honestly about what they wanted. Had better relationships. Less drama. Less confusion. More connection. Meanwhile, women who continued game playing, setting resistant boundaries, testing men's interest, had constant problems. Men backing off. Men losing interest. Men getting confused. Then frustrated. Then leaving. Made final comprehensive post. 1 year after. What happened when I stopped setting fake boundaries? Detailed my journey. With Marcus. How I set limits. He respected them. I got upset. How I learned. These were tests. Not real boundaries. How I changed approach. Started being honest. Post went viral. Millions of views. Comments were powerful. I needed this. I've been doing exactly this. Setting boundaries. I don't mean testing men. Then upset when they believe me. Another comment. My boyfriend just broke up with me over this exact thing. I kept saying I needed space. He gave it. I said he wasn't trying hard enough. He said he was respecting my boundaries. Like I asked. He was right. Men's comments. Thank you. This is so common. Woman sets boundaries. I respect them. She's mad. This validates that it's not just me. Current approach. 2 years later is completely different. Teach real boundaries. Protecting your well-being. Setting actual limits. You want respected, not test boundaries. Creating obstacles to see if someone will overcome them. Teach honest communication. I like seeing you 3 times a week. Not game playing. I can only see you once a week, but pursue me more. Teach authenticity. Say what you mean what you say. Not manipulation. Say one thing, want another. Judge people for believing you. This approach works better. Clients have better relationships, less drama, more connection, more honesty, more trust, because everyone knows where they stand, what's wanted, what's expected. No games, no tests, no confusion. Final lesson learned. Boundaries are important, but must be real, must be honest, must be what you actually want. Not tests of interest, not obstacles to overcome, not ways to seem less available than you are. If you want more contact, say that. Don't say you want less. Then get mad when believed. If you want frequent dates, say that. Don't say once a week. Then feel neglected when that's what you get. If you want pursuit, show interest back. Don't set obstacles. Then judge someone for respecting them. That's the truth. That's what works. That's what I learned. After setting limits, Marcus respected, then feeling shocked. He lost interest. He didn't lose interest. He respected my boundaries. Exactly as I asked. I just didn't mean them. That was my problem, not his. That's what I teach now. Be honest. Say what you mean what you say, want what you ask for. Don't test people with fake boundaries. Then judge them for believing you. That's the lesson. That's the truth that I learned the hard way by losing someone who actually respected what I said I wanted, then realizing too late. I didn't actually want it. Don't make my mistake. Be honest. Be clear. Be real. That's what works. 3 years after Marcus started seeing pattern even more clearly in broader dating culture, not just my clients, but everywhere. Social media full of women complaining. He stopped chasing me after I told him I need space, or he's not fighting for the relationship after I set boundaries, or he accepted the breakup instead of trying to win me back. All variations of same theme. Women setting limits, expecting men to ignore those limits. To prove their interest, started doing research, surveyed 3,000 women about boundary setting. Results were revealing. 76% admitted setting boundaries. They didn't fully mean. 68% expected men to try harder despite boundaries. 82% felt less desired. When boundaries were respected, 71% had ended relationships because man gave up too easily, when actually he just respected what she said. Published research findings. The boundary paradox. Why women set limits, then resent men who respect them. Article detailed findings. The contradictions. The game playing. The consequences. Article exploded. Shared everywhere. Debated on podcasts. Discussed in therapy circles. Traditional dating coaches. Attacked me. You're telling women to chase men, to have no standards, to accept breadcrumbs. That's not what I said. I said be honest about what you want. Don't say one thing, mean another. Modern relationship experts supported the work. This is crucial. We see this constantly. Women playing games, then confused when men take them seriously. Started getting stories from women who'd learned this lesson, like I had. Woman named Kate wrote, I did exactly this. Told amazing guy I could only see him twice a month because I was so busy. Truth was I wanted him to fight for more. Wanted him to show how much he wanted me. What happened? He respected it. Saw me twice monthly. Filled his life with other things, other people. Eventually met someone who wanted to see him more often, and he left. She continued. I was devastated. Told my friends. He didn't fight for me. Didn't want me enough. But truth is, I told him I only wanted twice a month. He believed me. I lied to test him and lost him. Another woman, Jennifer. I kept telling my boyfriend I needed more independence, more space, more time alone. What was the truth? Truth was I wanted to see if he'd get jealous, get possessive, fight to see me more. Instead, he said okay. Started doing his own thing, making his own plans, living his own life. And I hated it. Felt neglected. Felt unimportant. Started fights about him not caring. He was so confused. Said he was giving me exactly what I asked for. He was right. What happened? He ended it. Said I didn't know what I wanted. That I blamed him for respecting my boundaries. That he couldn't win. He was completely right. But I didn't see it until too late. These stories were common. Woman after woman. Setting boundaries. They didn't mean losing good men who respected them. Started seeing pattern in social media advice too. Popular posts teaching. Make him work for it. Don't be too available. Create mystery. Be a challenge. All teaching women to play games, to set fake boundaries, to test men, not build relationships. Started counterposting. Stop making him work. Start being honest. Mystery is manipulation. Be clear instead. Lost more followers, but gained others who were tired of game playing, who wanted real connection, not tests. Started podcast, honest dating, interviewing people about their experiences with boundary games. Episode with man named David was particularly powerful. I dated woman for 6 months. She kept setting these boundaries. Like what? Like she could only text at certain times, could only see me certain days, needed lots of notice for any plans. Said she was very independent. How did you respond? I respected all of it. I texted when allowed. I planned ahead. I gave her space. I thought I was being respectful. What happened? She broke up with me. Said I wasn't showing enough interest, that I was too passive, that I didn't fight for the relationship. He got emotional. I was so confused. I thought respecting her boundaries was the right thing. Apparently she wanted me to ignore them, to prove I wanted her. But she never said that. This interview went viral. Men relating everywhere. This was me. Exactly this situation. Respected her boundaries. Got dumped for it. Women commenting too. I did this to someone. Reading these comments, making me realize how unfair it was. Started offering workshops. Honest boundary setting. Teaching difference between real boundaries and resistant ones. Teaching women to stop testing. Start communicating. First workshop had mix of men and women, which was important. Both sides needed to hear each other. Woman named Lisa shared her pattern. I always tell men I need lots of space, then get upset when They give it to me. Why do you say it? Because I'm afraid. Of being too much. Of seeming desperate. Of scaring them away. But you scare them away. By being confusing instead. I know. I'm starting to see that. Man named Chris responded. That's exactly what my ex did. I could never figure out what she wanted. Because she'd say one thing, then be upset when I did it. Lisa nodded. I'm sorry. That must have been so frustrating. I never thought about how it felt from the other side. This dialogue was powerful, helping women see how their game playing affected men, helping men understand why women did it. Fear of vulnerability, fear of rejection, fear of seeming too interested, but also showing better alternative exists. Honest communication, clear boundaries, real connection. Started seeing success stories from workshop participants. Couple named Amy and Tom. Met after workshop. Both committed to honest communication. Amy told me, first date I was honest. I like frequent communication. I like seeing someone multiple times a week. If you want something different, that's fine. But this is me. How did Tom respond? He said he was the same way, that he'd dated women who said they needed space, then got mad when he gave it. He appreciated my honesty. 6 months later, they were engaged. Both said honesty, from beginning, made everything easier. No games, no confusion, no resentment, just clear communication about what they wanted. Another success story. Woman named Rachel had been playing games for years, came to workshop, had revelation, started dating differently. I stopped testing people, started being honest. It's so much better. What changed? I meet someone. I tell them clearly what I'm looking for, what I want, how I like to communicate. No games, no fake boundaries. And some people aren't compatible. That's fine. But the ones who are, we connect so much better. No confusion, no drama, just honest connection. She continued. I'm seeing someone now for 3 months. It's the healthiest relationship I've had because we're both honest about what we want. Current mission, 3 years into this work, is changing dating culture away from game playing toward honest communication, teaching women, don't set boundaries. You don't mean, don't test men with fake limits. Don't say you want space when you want pursuit. Be honest, be clear, be real. Teaching men, it's okay to take women seriously, respect their boundaries, believe their words. If she says she wants space and you give it, and she's upset, that's her problem, not yours. Published final book, The Honesty Advantage. Why authentic communication beats game playing every time. Book details everything. My journey with Marcus, the research, the patterns, success stories, framework for honest dating. Book is doing well. Not as popular as my first book about boundaries, but helping more people build real relationships, not game-based ones. Final reflection. 3 years after Marcus. What I learned. Boundaries are essential, but must be real. If you set a limit, you should want it respected, not challenged. If you say you need space, don't be mad when given it. If you want more contact, say that. Don't test people by saying opposite. Honest communication beats game playing every single time. Creates real connection, real understanding, real relationships, not drama, not confusion, not tests. That's what works. That's what I teach. That's what I learned. After setting boundaries, Marcus respected, then feeling shocked. He lost interest, when really, he just believed me, took me seriously, respected my limits. Like I asked, problem wasn't him, was me, not being honest about what I wanted, testing instead of communicating. That's the lesson. Don't make my mistake. Be honest about what you want. Set real boundaries, not tests. Say what you mean what you say. That's how you build real relationships with real people who take you seriously because you're being serious, not playing games. That's the truth. That's what works. That I learned too late after losing Marcus to my own games. Don't let it happen to you.